Yeah, welcome to the Dollar Hour. I'm Deontay Burton. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, Lord. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I'm Deontay Burton, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself, and welcome to the Dollar Hour. I'm about to damn forget what the hell we're talking about.
It's Thursday, y'all.
Yeah.
It's been a long week. Let's just say that. It's been a long week.
Appreciate that. But we got an awesome show tonight. Tonight on Dollar Hour, we are discussing a question that a lot of people have really been curious about, but they really don't talk about it out loud. They may have a barbershop talk, beauty salon conversations, maybe at home where not too many people around, but they haven't put themselves in a position to learn too much about it. And that is, will AI take my job? Will artificial intelligence take my job? Probably a taboo subject because a lot of people feel they may be impacted in regards to artificial intelligence because the only way you probably have not been around it, if you've been in fast food, you've seen a lot of new automated systems, fast food with robots going, serving your meals, restaurants with a robot bring your food, kiosks in the airport, kiosks at different places. You see got robots putting orders and cleaning up different things. Was that that Rick made that post? Was that you made a post about the Sam's Club? No, that was an earthquake. Somebody put a post with Sam's Club had the robot going around sweeping the floors and everything now. So I say all that to say with all the new advance of innovation, automation, things like that, artificial intelligence is here. Are you ready for it or not?
Right.
And one of the questions is a lot of people asking, will it take my job? And they're just looking at theory because like, yeah, it might take my job, it may take my job. It's just from a conversational standpoint. But because it hasn't really came yet, people aren't really worried about it. And so I want to have that conversation with everybody today. What's going on, Trey Nicole? Appreciate you tuning in. I think what people are going to find out is that it may be here sooner than later. That's why I want to have that discussion because with Mr. Short Dollar being a financial channel, we talk about entrepreneurship and investing and things like that. It's going to have an impact on everybody. Me too. Exactly.
Right.
And the whole thing about it, you guys know I'm not a reactive person. So I try to have people to be as proactive as possible, like I am, in regards to particular things. And we're going to have a discussion tonight to talk about will it possibly take your job? What jobs may be safe? What may probably be in danger? And also kind of like help you pivot in regards to everything, just in case you may have some kind of impact. But before we get started again, guys, I am Deontay Burton, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar himself. Remember, on Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We stream live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we got over 700 videos covering those particular subjects. We also got an active grant playlist with over 150 grant opportunities. So regardless of what platform you're looking at right now, remember, go to Mr. Short Dollar. You can Google it, Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell to get a notification each time we upload new videos so you guys can take advantage of all the great information that we currently have on the channel and all the great information coming down the pipe. You about to say something like that?
Oh, I just want to say Shan jacked me. Hey, Shan. She said it's definitely the future. It's definitely soon. Be proactive. She said her job can definitely be replaced.
Well, see, cool. And with that said, guys, this, we just start from this point. If you think about it, what I want everybody to look about probably 3 or 4 years before the pandemic hit. So let's say 2000, maybe 14, 15. What was everybody screaming? Living wage.
Living wage, right.
Everybody living wage.
$15 an hour.
They $15 an hour. Congress nationwide, everybody going. And if you guys remember, around by that time, that's when we were talking on this show, Mr. Short Dollar. At the end of the day, when you start pushing for those things like that, that's when people look at it like, look, we got to make sure that, oh man, I put that on, forgot. Appreciate that, Rick put it on there. I had just said it, I ain't even thinking nothing about it. Let me make sure. And put that on there. Pin comment. Trying to make sure. I had okay, cool. I got Rick.
Hey, y'all can call in and talk about this topic. Will artificial intelligence take my job? AI, will it take your job? It's a great conversation. I think y'all need to call in 678-740-9894. Dial them digits, man.
I'm running my damn mouth. Okay, you get a number. Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, guys, if you do have any comments, if you do feel like your job can be replaced with AI. If you guys had those, break room or water cooler conversation in regards to that, feel free to call in, what you feel about a particular subject. Again, like Lab said, 678-740-9894. But, going back to what we were talking about, Lab, that whole thing with the living wage where everybody was saying, give me $15 an hour, and, it was pushing it. People were doing protests, people going before Congress, and they were saying, listen, we need to get a living wage. And I kept saying, listen, when you start pushing things like that, you fought somebody. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. Who am I speaking with?
Hey there, this is Shan. I'm calling, checking in. This is Shannon Jackney Show.
What's up, Shan?
Hey, I really want to talk about this because I was just actually talking about it with a friend today.
Okay.
And AI is definitely what to come. People are playing with it, with the pictures and the digital images, changing their faces to look like people from the past. And, right now it's like a game. Right now it's like fun. But in reality, we are headed into a time where a lot of people just don't know that their jobs will be replaced. Like, for instance, my job that I work at, we have a kiosk and people can rent online. So what all they probably would need from me in reality is to clean the building. And now that I see that they have these robots down that do the cleaning, I definitely can be replaced. And I was telling my mom, my nephew, he's just 13 months. I said, you know what? He needs to be learning and should be and probably will be learning things such as working on electric cars. Because, see, the car makeup is not going to be the same as it is now. A mechanic right now, he got it going on, but when these new cars take place, electric, they're going to need mechanics for a system that doesn't have an engine, and it's going to be computer operated. So, and even with the airports, they already have a system where there's going to be customer service just saying, go left, go right, go to this section. It's not, the AIs are going to take the emotion out of what we're used to, even all the way down to lawyers and judges. Just like how they have now, just the go to the TV monitors and you in court. You don't actually have to show up, or the judge don't have to actually be in your presence anymore. In the future, the judge is going to be a robot, and he's not going to have that emotion to care about you. It's going to only be what is right and what is wrong. See, we playing games and thinking that this is fun. This is not fun. This is serious. We're headed in a situation, and that's me on my conspiracy shit. I just love it. But this, I do know that we are we're giving all of our rights up to a system that is going to replace human interaction, and that's not something we're used to, right? Where we're getting used to because we're on this social network and we're not really communicating with people every day, getting out, doing this, doing that, So yeah, this is a great conversation, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of what you have to say about this. So what do you take as financially with AI?
Well, financially, I just think more so. I think more you're going to have people like on my side or from the accounting, tax preparers. Theoretically, when we look at AI, it's pretty much just with artificial intelligence. It's pretty much supposed to have a major network of database that's processing, doing things a whole lot faster. Where you can just have just like Google on steroids. You think about it. So we start looking from a financial standpoint, you probably get things done probably quicker, more efficiently, and less mistakes and things like that. So I kind of have a viewpoint, because probably the question I want to ask you, that was my answer to you as far as financially. It's going to change things. I think it's going to change the way a lot of things are set up and processed. It's going to take a lot of the human aspect out of it, but that probably will be things where they probably still have people dealing in the financial industry, and that'd be more so from a checks to make sure the machines are working, or there are some things you probably need a person for, but it definitely will change. It'll change a lot of industries. But my question, just pivoting off of that, do you think artificial intelligence is a bad thing? And whatever you feel, yes or no, why?
Okay, I like as I always say, I think it's a bad thing. Well, it's good and bad. It's gonna have its good side as far as helping with efficiency. That's gonna be the good part. The bad part is, again, like I stated, the emotionless. It's not gonna be a gray area. It's gonna either be right or wrong, or it's gonna either be this way or that way. It's not gonna be no middle boundary of it. It's gonna have, say for instance, like I listen to Money Matters on Sundays. They have a system already in place that helps people build their portfolios, their 401s, their retirement plans and everything to that nature. Right now it's helping them organize. But at the same time, at some point, it's gonna even remove them out of the accuracy of people's finances. Because for sure, it's a robot. It's going to calculate way faster than the human mind would ever decide to do. But to me, it's going to be good and bad. And it's going to only depend on who's using it, what is it used for, and is the government, the whoever, the people that are going to be in control of it. It's going to all depend on their integrity, what their intention is, not integrity, but the intent. Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? So, we just, like I said, we just seeing it right now just for fun and games and just, it's going to be, but it's going to be a time when it's going to be in real full throttle, and it's being pushed faster because the countries are trying to have their first, who's going to have the best and who's going to be out first with the best. Russia, China, and the United States, they're always competing. And so that's why the projects are being sped up as fast as they are. So it's going to be a lot of, say for instance, this just as an example, and like I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and they used to have Android 1, Android 2. They had Androids all the way up to 20. Mm-hmm. And, they're going to be prototypes that don't go as far as some. So there's going to be some, like right now, we just in the testing stages. So the things that we see now is going to be way advanced in 10 years, even 5 years, even 3 years from now. Things are going to be way more advanced and things are going to be sped up even more faster. So I think right now, to answer your question, it's good and bad, but it all depends on the intent from the makers of those entities, because it is an entity.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, listen, I appreciate you calling and giving your insight on that.
Absolutely, and I'll stay tuned and I'll continue to listen. Thank you so much.
All right, you take care.
It's a couple go ahead. It's a couple of comments on Instagram. CTR Network says it's both good and bad. Mixlot said these folks don't want to work, so she welcome AI. She also said AI won't take her job, but it definitely will take over some. And Miss Mixlot said, where's your cigar?
I have my feelings, gotta get my blood work, so I'm trying to just be a little clean before they poke me in the morning.
Right.
I'm here shaking and when I have me a stick in my hand or a sip or anything like that, but that's why I ain't got it today. Appreciate that, Miss Mixlot. But you know what, like, I'm gonna say this, because I thought it was a good point what Shannon was just saying, is that but I have a different perspective when we start talking about those, because if you go down the timeline of everything, you start looking at artificial intelligence, and I just look at any kind of times you have innovations, technological advances. You go back to the cotton gin. Uh-huh. You go back to the cotton gin, how they just changed the whole manufacturing process. Mm-hmm. Then you turn around, you go speed up until the Industrial Revolution. Uh-huh. We got all this steel making where people just sitting there doing it. Now it's going in more efficiently. Then people move up north because now you got these manufacturing, production, and everything like that. The whole, agriculture industry has been changed. Then you go from where people start, outsourcing certain things with machine works and everything. Now you have plants where, you look at it from Model T and everything, when you had cars being built, to now these machines come in doing the job 4 or 5 people were doing, right? Then you start looking at it in terms of just from agricultural, you got all these different machines set up change the way plants are harvested and things like that. Then you turn around, we hit the late 70s, early 80s, what happens? Computers. Computers taking out all these certain things that it took people, hundreds of people to do. Now you can get something that is processing faster, taking away jobs and, creating different opportunities. Then you got something called the damn internet coming along. The internet coming along like what? Now we got, faster access to information or whatever, this, that, and that. What do you mean? We don't have to mail people no more? I can actually email this person, do this. Then we got phone innovation. Now I can actually text your ass, all this other kind of stuff, wiping out. CDs come along. CDs come along, taking out the 8-tracks, cassette. Then now we got damn downloads. Then you turn around, pivot some more. You look at you have all this other stuff where things are streaming and all this kind of stuff. I say all that to say that's just a few what we're thinking about. Technological advances and innovation is always going to make changes. And we can always theoretically look at it like, come on now. Hell, I used to try to do a little bootleg CDs and stuff like that and stuff. Took all my damn, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I say that it's always going to be caution, frightening, or whatever. We have changes like that and stuff like that, especially major changes, right? Because I remember just with you have a lot of old heads when I was younger. Say like in them late 90s, when a lot of warehouses was going, changing to a more computerized system.
Right.
You had men quitting their damn job. I mean, taking lesser jobs because you had to be computer savvy to be a supervisor. They'll to keep a job. They would quit their job, a lesser role, because they were so intimidated about dealing with a damn keyboard. You feel me? And those kind of things happen, right? And I do think in a time where we have that unknown, and fear of the unknown is probably the most scariest fear of all. And because you don't know the impact of it, because those valid points like people can do this, people can do that, you don't know exactly, the vast reaches of having.
Right.
But that's just technological advances, innovation.
I think people don't realize that when you start, like we were talking about, a livable wage, when you start pressuring these companies and people in general to give more than they want to give, they start thinking of innovative ways to get rid of you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't realize that of course we all want a livable wage. I get that. I understand. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting a livable wage, but you have to realize these companies haven't done anything for you now. So what makes you think they're going to say, oh, we got to start giving them a livable wage? No, they start thinking of ways that they can get rid of you, not to give anybody any wages, because you got to realize that profit always outweighs doing the right thing when it comes to corporations. So they're gonna fund this stuff. They're gonna fund this innovation. They're gonna give millions and billions of dollars to these people to come up with ways to get rid of us.
Hey, one-time capital investment. They can just put this money out to not worry about who's getting pregnant, who's having issues at home, who has family members sick,
unemployment insurance,
none of that stuff,
none of that 401ks, none of that.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll spend $15 billion to cut off 25.
Yeah, and even from an eco perspective, you're not forcing my damn hand.
Right.
That's another thing we're doing it. Guys, listen, we're asking the question, will AI take my job? Feel free to call in. If you have perspectives on how AI will take your job or or the impact they have on the economy at all, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, the number is 678-740-9894. One thing about it, we start looking at artificial intelligence, that being that wide spotted network of being able to do it. Good conversation me and you had maybe a good month ago. We were talking about ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is this just like is artificial intelligence based, where they're using information that's already set out there, and you actually can put in, give me, write me a whole speech on how to motivate people. And they can give you you say, I want a 5-paragraph speech. And it can generate that whole damn thing in seconds.
I was going to give you a list of who that's going to take away. Now you got the screenwriters who was on strike, right? Screenwriters gone, because you can just type in, give me a script for Poochie jumping over the moon.
Yeah.
They gone. Resume writers gone. Speech writers are gone. All these people are now gone. Because if I could just type in, give me a speech for Poochie's Mr. Short Dollar Show, and they type it up, and really with holler any corrections that need to be done, and then you see a correction, like, nah, not on that topic, on this topic, and have it within seconds or minutes.
And this shit is passing plagiarism tests for college students.
Right.
Like, this stuff is genuinely unique.
Right.
We're doing it, and you're just looking at it like, man, you have so much access to so many things. Like you just said, things that you had people that actually that were, you know, could create certain things like that. That's, you know, it's amazing. And now you really do got so much more of the world at your fingertips. We talk about Google University. We talk about YouTube University, having access to all this information. Not only now do you have access to information, you got access to have somebody working for you damn near, thinking and doing stuff for you. And
for free right now. I mean, you think about what we always say: the world is flat.
Exactly.
It's flat. I mean, you can reach anywhere at any time and grab anything and bring it back. There's really no barriers. I mean, if you want to physically go there, yeah, you can do that. But now it's getting to the point. You think about Apple. They have a virtual goggle now where they can take you right where you want to be, and you can reach out and touch it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about these things. Like, they're not coming up with these things for no good reason. You think about Elon Musk. He got the Neuralink where they gonna test putting a computer in somebody's head in the next couple of months.
That, you know, what was the girl just went to prison? Was it Thanos, with the young lady? Thanos, where they was, you know, had the thing.
Yeah.
And of course, he was doing the fraud. But again, those things are there where they can test bloods, get all kind of stuff, see what kind of potential diseases you may. It's amazing.
I mean, they got it now. When you get pregnant artificially, artificially inseminated, they can take out this, give them blue eyes, blonde hair, give them a 300 IQ. I mean, literally, they can do those things right now.
And here's the deal: you can't really. It's hard to really pick and choose about how you want to use it, right? So you know, what I'm saying, listen, because I want to be able to Google search. I want to be able to look out for my favorite blue sweaters by Gucci. I want to be able to do that, but I don't want you to sit here and have an impact that could affect me economically.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. What you about to say?
No, go ahead.
And that's the thing I think we got to be realistic about. Be probably less fearful of the impact that it can have when you be more realistic about, hey, the changes are coming around. Because we all got to adjust and change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it is what it is.
I think we don't realize that we're the guinea pigs. They test this stuff out on us every day. They give us little free apps, Chat GPT. They give us facial apps to change our face, look older, to do this, to morph into that. It's all a test. They testing it on us. Put it in the app store. Let's see how it works with these folks. All right, we tweak a little bit. We sell it commercially. They test it on us every day. We don't realize it because, like Shan said, we think it's all fun and games. But we're being tested on. Trust me. Yeah. They're not giving us all this free apps and great stuff just because it's a test.
You know, and I guess because again, sometimes when things don't, you know, something can happen, but until it probably hits you in the face, you really don't be concerned about it, worried about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's the thing about it, because you keep in mind, remember when we were hearing about COVID in China, like damn, whatever.
Right.
And then another thing, yeah. Then you start saying, well, them white folks getting COVID, nobody worried. Then you start seeing brothers dying.
Right.
The hell going on? Then we found out it's mostly black folks dying. Shit.
Right.
But again, that's the kind of thing until things can kind of affect you that way. Guys, again, if you feel like that AI, artificial intelligence, can take away your job, have some kind of impact on you, your job, or any way, any kind of impact on you, feel free to call in. Again, the number is 678. Now feel free, just call in.
Right.
678-740-9894. Again, call in 678-740-9894. You know, I think, you know, and I have conversations with friends of mine all the time in regards to, you know, just make yourself recession proof. And we talk about that sometime on the show. Like sometimes, you know, you can be at a job so long, you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and you may get certain credentials to make, you know, maybe increase your pay or open up other opportunities for you. And like right now, it's more so like shit, whole industry changes may be about. And a lot of times I don't think people really even want to address that. You know, you start looking at, you know, just say basic driving. We've seen the driverless cabs and all that kind of stuff. The what's that? Wazoo? We forgot the company. But I remember they had first started when I was in grad school. But the one day in California. But they doing a lot of the like Uber and Lyfts.
Okay.
You know, you go in, the car pull up, you hop in, the driverless and everything. And I think that's been the past couple of years like a that San Diego, San Francisco area been like the test dummy.
Okay.
With those. But then you're talking about that's a whole industry from a lift and all that could be gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they tested trucks. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Trucks, planes, boats, and all this other kind of stuff. Those kind of things we got to kind of look at with that. But again, that's not something to sit here and cringe on. We got to understand how we got to make an adjustment. Because like I said, grandma and granddad why they're picking cotton. I mean, they was out there doing it. Then all of a sudden, we got something like called a cotton gin where it's straining all these kind of things. And you just look at it from now, where you had all these people working in the field, it's gone. You sit there and look at any kind of manufacturing plant. What is everybody trying to get things set up where they got machines that are picking it, filling it, wrapping it, boxing it, this, that, and that, as efficient as possible. It's always going to be constant change.
Say hey to your mama.
What's up, mama?
She on Facebook.
Oh, what's up, mama? Mama, I'm sorry I missed your call. I was taking care of something when you called. I'm sorry about that. And I think a lot of times people want to get caught up into yesteryear. Like, man, that ain't going to happen to me. It ain't going to affect. You don't know.
Right.
And I think, that, when you kind of put yourself in a reactionary state, you kind of put yourself in a situation for certain things to do that. And I get it. It's frightening. Because you don't know what the hell can be gone. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it. Hell, the shit I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I can tell you something. I can be honest with you with this. 2005, let's say 2005, 2010, your boy getting fat.
Right.
Rapid refund.
Right.
Everybody doing this, that, and that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't accessible because everybody wasn't as computer savvy. Everybody wasn't able to get access to certain bank products and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just telling you, like, back in the day, your boy was getting fat.
Right.
I'm just telling you with the tax return. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was no kind of...
no thing.
There was no regulation. There was none of that kind of stuff. It was just smooth running. Next thing you know, they giving people all these damn fire yourself, E-fire this, and all this other kind. The whole industry changed. And each year it has gone from more and more people filing their own tax returns. Now the flip side of that is, too, you got to be aware of, hey, if I do something wrong, can't come to somebody or whatever, it may be whatever, because some things you just can't replace it.
Right.
I can go to WebMD, but I'm sitting around like, look, man, this bump on me getting bigger and bigger.
And WebMD says it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's a code.
Exactly. I done sit here and try to draft this whole damn contract online.
Right.
This shit got loophole after loophole on it and stuff. I got to be realistic about, me cutting corners. I need to get a professional in. It's some things out there to help you, but sometimes you do need a person for. But there have been tons of changes, and like I said, I'm still making decent money, but I damn sure ain't making the money I used to make.
Right.
My prices probably done changed a little bit more because I think the uniqueness, but definitely, man, I think there's a lot of industry that have been changed by that because again, you can do a whole lot of things differently. Think about the lodging industry, hotels. How you think Airbnb, Vrbo, and PassSplit have affected the lodging industry?
Big time.
Who the hell want to open up? What is the benefit of having a taxi cab company now?
Nah.
Why the hell do you have a taxi cab company now? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody living off their phone and all that stuff, like we're doing it. I'm pretty sure there are reasons why you may have one. But I'm just saying, we're looking at industries that have been totally impacted.
Right.
I will remember being in different organizations and everything, and one of the big things I think was a highlight was people to get their tickets, a jazzy nice little ticket from the printer, and you sitting there like, why the hell are we paying thousands of dollars to get these jazzy printers? We just Eventbrite give you shit free and then you scan it in.
Right.
And a lot of times people can't. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. A lot of times people. They not processing like, what you mean we got to do that? And nah, man, we don't have to print tickets. We can get a digital ticket.
You're right, digital ticket on your phone.
Man, and once you get past that initial fear, because you tell people you do this, somebody can hack, and you ask an old head, they be like, we want you to do that because they can get hacked. You're like, what the hell is hack?
Right.
They don't even know what the hell hack is.
Somebody can steal your ticket.
Yeah, but I say all that to say that we have been positively affected by those innovations and changes. But now, since it seems like, okay, we head into these different changes. I always remember, man, when My ex-wife worked at the airline when they first, what Shannon said, when they first put them kiosks out there at Delta. I remember that, man. Used to have all these people to work ticketing.
The banks.
Yeah, and think about it. Even just like you say, now you got these damn machines were taking them and everything. And now you're in the world right now, you got to understand, like, that's there.
And they promote it, and what get us as humans, we complain about the jobs being lost, but what get us as humans and consumers is they know how to taunt it to us. They know how to advertise it to us. They taunt it to us as fast. You don't have to wait in line. So we thinking, man, we ain't gotta wait in line. We ain't gotta go up to the desk at Delta and get a ticket now. We can come right here, be done in 15 minutes. That's how they got us at the Walmart. Yeah, they taught it as you ain't gotta stand in the line, let the checker check you out. You come to self-checkout, you be out of here in 2 seconds. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now we complain about it because we don't get the same kind of customers, but it's too late now.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you really don't think about it, really care about it until it negatively affects you. A lot of times, people not being, forward thinking or have this morality thing because, like, damn, I just want my stuff. I feel good about this,
Convenience.
Right? Exactly. Because, now you ain't got to worry about the long lines at airport checkout. They get to scan your eyeball, look at your print, your palm screen and everything. You get to skip line.
You can check out at home now and go to the airport.
Exactly.
Right.
So with that said, like, it's a good thing for me. But then when I turn around, they're like, hey, man, listen, we got this new system in that, that can do all you guys' job. Now we tripping.
Right.
A lot of old school accountants, they know about, having to do the green paper. Then you have Microsoft Excel,
right.
And that is QuickBooks and all this other kind of shit. Just Great Plains and all the other accounting softwares. Man, they took a lot of folks out.
They got it now to where I don't know if you've seen it yet. They got it now. All you do is type in the Social Security number from the taxes. That's what they testing. From your tax slip, and it does it all for you.
Exactly.
It's your refund. That's it.
Exactly. And here's the deal. You always, again, I'm just speaking personally, that the issue always gonna come out is what they don't know.
Right.
And that's the big thing. The information, like, if you go there, don't know. But that's the thing about it. But people, because they want things fast, want things quick, they're going to use that, right? And that's how it is. But until a situation negatively impact you, you ain't really thinking too much about it, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's never a problem to us. Our problem.
Gotcha. Hey, listen, guys, call in. You want to discuss, AI take my job, 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894.
Hey, Line Lady Love, too. We see your internet messing up. Shake the phone. Walk to the other side of your big house. House too big. That's why the internet is messing up.
That's what it is.
That Wi-Fi can't cover them 10,000 square feet.
And, when you start looking at certain industries, again, we're talking about, AI take my job, artificial intelligence take my job, and we look at certain industries where we say, okay, hey, who can be impacted? Like we said, maybe it could be attorneys, maybe it could be drivers, maybe it could be pilots, maybe it could be, just say manual workers pulling orders and this, that, and that. We don't damn know. We don't damn know, because we know at the end of the day, if it can be created and thought of, it may be applicable.
Right.
The degree of how it would go, I don't know. But that's probably the major part of ingenuity.
Right.
A lot of times, because we can really be like the Jetsons, flying around and shit like that in the next couple of years. You don't know, but we do know there are things in place that are processing and change the way things are done right now.
Yeah, and the Jetsons was set in 1984, right?
Who?
Jetsons.
It was set in 84.
It's supposed to be 1984.
This was made really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shit, when was it done?
In the early 60s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. The
Jetsons was supposed to be in 1984. We supposed to be doing all this stuff in 1984.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's just little.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But you start thinking, but just put in perspective, Lab. We're looking at how things, even with all the innovative changes and things like that. How much thought do you give into it? Like, look, just again, people be focused on it ain't me. But how many of us really do take in account that, hey, this shit may be gone, I may be able to do this and move accordingly, as opposed to, praying on it, wishing it don't happen and things like that. And that's all of us. That's all of us. And I look at it like, do we do a good enough job in life to actually start, put ourselves in a position where we can be proactive thinking?
Right.
And just looking at
I don't think we are. We all would like to say we are, but to be honest with you, I don't think that we are proactive thinkers. I think that we are reactive with a proactive mindset.
Yeah.
I just don't think that we are. I mean, if we were proactive, when we like Slick said, she said even when you search on Google, even when you search things on your PC, what you search keeps popping up in everything you're doing. But even back then when Google first started, that was actually an AI.
Yeah.
Think about it. That was a test for AI because you type in how to replace a tire, and all this stuff pops up.
Yeah.
People ain't just selected that stuff and popped it up in your search.
Yeah. But Lab, I really don't. Again, guys, call in. We're talking about will artificial intelligence take my job? If you got an inside question or you feel like it's impacting you, call in 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. Lab, I don't really think it takes away a lot of stuff. I think it actually, just adjusting, how things are done. Mm-hmm. Again, from an efficiency standpoint, it doesn't stop people from doing certain things. It may just make certain things better. Yeah. Now, the actual speed, certain things can get processed and created. They may be more efficient, but you start looking at it because, again, let's just look at it like with a restaurant. Mm-hmm. You sitting there now, you got a robot that can sit here and do certain things or whatever, stay out of people's ways and things like that. If you look at it from an innovation standpoint, now you don't have to have, they're not stopping the restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's just making things more efficient, more effective, and things like that. Mm-hmm. I think if you look at it from that perspective, you just got to pivot and change what you do in that particular location. Mm-hmm. Because again, at one point we was worried about picking cotton.
Right.
Then we worried about pulling orders or doing that. I talk about this a lot, guys, and this is just my theory. The world's all going to need two things. I say this all the time. That's thinkers and fixers. Mm-hmm. We're always going to need thinkers and fixers.
Right.
Regardless. And if you're not a thinker, if you're not a fixer, you're going to be a doer.
Right.
When you're a doer, and again, this is not a slight on anybody. It's just, how I look at stuff. When you're a doer, you're always going to just be doing what you're allowed to do.
Right.
But when you're a thinker and a fixer, if you can create, if you can repair, if you can innovate, if you can design, if you can put back together, whatever, it always be a place for you. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that can be created to replace that. Mm-hmm. Even with AI is more so to take certain things, as far as thoughts and patterns and history and stuff, and regurgitate it at a faster pace. But innovation and thinking and stuff like that, it doesn't create like, with doing that. Mm-hmm. It's not going to create, AI probably is not going to create a new design on a certain vehicle, whatever, this, that, and that. But it can actually, print everything out, disperse the ideas and stuff like that. But it's not going, the processing standpoint of certain things, but it's not going to be able to create.
Okay.
It's not going to actually do I haven't seen certain architectural designs and stuff like that. And they probably process, the actual the design one thing, but actually the calculation and stuff.
Right.
That's what our the AI can come into with it. Even with repairs, like to be able to sit here and go up under your sink and do your pipes. Mm. Put this thing together. Now, to the point, even from a mechanical standpoint, there's some things you're going to need a person to do.
Right.
Now, there are some things also, back in the day, Mr. Charlie could taste the oil and just this is what's wrong. Those kind of things, now you might have a technician, but you're still going to have a person. Thinkers and fixers are always going to be needed. And I think that's not everybody not being to be a thinker and a fixer.
Right.
But I do think at the end of the day, you got to put yourself in the perspective where, listen, if I'm not going on that spectrum of neither one of those, where I fall in, how I can be impacted. And listen, this is not some 2023 shit I'm saying. This is period.
Right.
This is period. Because no matter what it is, you start looking at where the economy in the world goes. To Shan's point, it's a big arms race in regards to how we can make things more effective, more efficient, so we can do certain things, right? Is it to make people human robots or put people on boot camps and space camps and shit like that? I doubt that. Right? You can go all over with thinking. But at the end of the day, technology innovation is always going to change. That's just like, 'cause if that wasn't the case, we'd still be living in damn caves. Right. And you just got to be realistic with yourself where you fall in on that spectrum with that. And unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people want to, embrace that the world is going to be different.
Yeah, like Pat says, thinking about it, what you're going to do and actually doing it is two different things, I guess.
Absolutely. And that's a hang up with a lot of people.
Right. I think people don't realize that AI and what it's doing and what it's about to do is going to impact all of our lives negatively or positively. It really doesn't. I mean, it all depends on what spectrum you're on. I mean, you can lose your job, or it can make what you're doing more efficient. I just think that we need to, what we always say, you need to figure out how to fix the AI. You need to figure out what job it is to make that AI run properly, because it's going to need to be repaired. They don't make stuff to last forever. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to need to be repaired. It's going to need to be adjusted. It's going to need to be all those things. And if you got that on your notes, I haven't looked at your notes yet. We just talking.
No.
Okay.
No. But that's a great point, because at the end of the day, you can see, put yourself in that reactionary mode, but you know how this shit gonna go. You don't know, and far too often, I mean, I think that's what caught a lot of people, and just looking at the whole Midwest era, like them plants and stuff started closing, jobs got to shifting. It's like nobody knew what the hell to do.
Right.
But that was a lot of doers. You know what I'm saying? You go to a place like say Silicon Valley, where everybody's just trying to create and think of the next big thing and stuff like that. It's a pension of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, I'm not trying to sit here and say like, what's right, what's wrong. I'm just saying what's real and what ain't.
Right.
Shit, again, you can't. I'm not a big proponent in place my destiny in nobody else's hand.
Right.
I ain't trying to tell everybody to get out there and be business owners and all that. That ain't my point with it. But what I am saying to you, you gotta make yourself aware of things change. Things change. At some point, guys, we're not gonna need bus drivers. We're not gonna need pilots. You might not need a damn accountant.
It might not be in our lifetime.
But
it's
it may
eventually.
Shit, it may.
And let me throw a little caveat in there. When we talk about the Jetsons, it said in 1984, the Jetsons was the thinkers, and Jetsons was supposed to be the thinkers and innovators.
Yeah.
They're fixers and innovators. The Flintstones were supposed to be the doers.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
No, I'm looking at it now, thinking about it. What you're saying.
Spectrums of that cartoon. The Flintstones were people who didn't innovate, who didn't learn how to fix the flying cars and things of that nature. So they were set back in the Stone Age because they didn't have the capabilities of dealing with the Jetsons part, where they were up in the sky, planes, electric stairways and all that kind of stuff, robots. They couldn't deal with that part, so they were set back in time.
Yeah.
Supposedly, if you read about the cartoons themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Guys, if you got any questions or any ideas about, artificial intelligence or the impact it may have on you or your job, again, call in 678-740-9894. 678-740-9894. But, just to that point, Lab, I was sitting there thinking, because I look at a lot of other social media platforms, and I listen to a lot of people talk and everything. I just think that, especially going forward, looking at, upcoming generations and everything, one of the biggest pushes is, I know Shannon brought it up, but like, hey, I'm trying to tell my nephew or niece this, that, and that. I don't think people are pushing their kids to even understand that shit. I really don't think people are pushing that.
Well, I mean, you think about kids nowadays, they come out knowing how to use the cell phone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a question of every generation adapts. They adapts to their surroundings. Like us, when we, our moms had records and stuff, but we know how to, they didn't, like my mom probably can't work a computer that well, but we know how to work computers because we was in that age. We were in that age when they were coming up, they were being innovated, things were changing at a rapid pace. So I don't necessarily think that children born today won't won't know how to deal with these things, won't know how to operate these things, won't know how to code and repair electric cars and things. I think they will, because it will be a part of their world. It will be what they know.
That's interesting.
You think about it, they know these things. I'm gonna give you a good example.
Mm-hmm.
Kids know cell phones. Show them a payphone. First thing they're gonna say is, "What's that?" You get what I'm saying? Because their time is cell phones. They never had to put 4 quarters in a phone and dial a number.
Good point.
You get what I'm saying? So they know these things already. That's what they see. That's what they consume. That's what they take in. So I don't think kids born today, if AI takes over, they're going to adapt, because that's the world that they live in.
Guys, that's a great point. That's a great point. So what about us grandpas and grandmas out there?
We're the ones who are going to
be lost.
We're going to be lost.
Fair enough.
Unless we take it upon ourselves to learn these things, understand these things, we may not be, because our generation will learn things. I mean, our grandpas and us grandpas will learn things. We don't mind taking in new information. Mm-hmm. Our grandpas back in the past wasn't so keen on taking in new information. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think we may be a little bit slower to process, but eventually we will adapt.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. I just I wonder how steep a curve the impact would be, because again, I'm sitting there looking, like, people are seeing this. Like, it's funny, you see the robot or whatever bring your order and stuff, and I'm pretty sure people have seen the different ones, the little things like it was some technological expo where they had one of the robots kind of looked like the one from iRobot with Will Smith.
Right.
That was actually had the responses and everything. Guys, like, we can look at it from one perspective, like, hey man, they're gonna have these robots taking over and things like that. But I think the main impact, what I think people need to understand, is that it's gonna make things a lot better and easier for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember being younger, listening to uncles, them stuff like that. Just hearing conversation.
Right.
Well, them damn computers is some stuff from the devil.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck going on?
Right.
And you hear it, you young, because you're not actually processing. Reasoning may not necessarily be at that level, but you're hearing these kind of things because people making comments about it because they're not knowledgeable. Right. So they looking like just the whole point of have a computer, or damn, they're like, you get a cell phone, you're going to get cancer, this, that, and that. It was so much negative information spewed just because, again, they may be right, or whatever it is. It's spewed because people are not familiar with it. It brought changes. It brought things that are different, right? And so I think that, again, to your point, we know, like, younger people, that's a great point. Younger people be brought up in it, they'll be versed with it. So it's not foreign to them that we got to worry about them. It's our asses.
It's us.
You know what I'm saying?
The current doers.
Especially people that have potentially another 15, 20 years in the workforce. Where a steep curve, a change, the way operations are done, going through that between 45 to 55, that shit can be rough.
Right.
If it's something totally damn different or whatever.
Something new.
Exactly. That shit can be totally different. Not saying people not responsible to change, but hey man, just totally like, hey, we don't do this no more, you got to go to doing that. That can be devastating. That can be devastating. I think that hurt a lot of people that originally were farmers and certain kind of doing certain. I'm trying to think of one of those old industries that was really, really slammed that just changed. A lot of manufacturing production. If you've been bolting down doors or turning certain things for years, and that's pretty much all you knew. And I seen that. I remember it was like the early 90s. I think some plants were closing. One in Georgia, and lady was just crying. This is all I know. And that ain't knocking nobody, but just think the only damn thing you've been making decent wages, taking care of your family, and you really would just turn a wrench for down there 20 years, make sure something was straight, and now it's gone. And that shit can do something to your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Like say it changed the post office. Made it more innovative.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. Plant.
Exactly, I'm pretty sure. Guys, you talking about it. And again, like I said, a lot of times it's really to make things more efficient, effective, be able to process stuff faster. So the thought process is not necessarily, take a job, but that's just a byproduct of it because now you got these systems in place that are going to be able to do stuff. I mean, look at, we're just using a thing like the Chat GPT. Look how it was able to regurgitate all that information in a matter of seconds. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about having things where the whole shit, you damn near really got to be not want to find information the way you got access to it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they got one now I heard on, and I can't remember the name of it, I heard on NPR, where you could actually be on the phone with this chatbot having a real, like me and you having a random conversation. And they'll talk to you about stuff. They like the lady was talking to her and she was answering the questions and asking questions like, but it was a AI. They was like, so how's the weather today? And he was like, oh, the weather's okay. The chatbot was like, the AI was like, oh, the weather's okay today here in Georgia. It's a little rainy today, but you know, we'll make it through. How do you feel? And they was like literally asking questions like, the little chatbot we got going on, this is nothing. I'm talking about the one they tested where it talks to you. You don't type anything. You just like, I'm talking to you. It's talking to me.
Well, we just like now, you know, I just holler at my little Nest. Hey Google, what's the weather for today?
Right.
Hey Google, that.
Those are tests.
Well, you asking for what's the other girl?
Don't ask
Siri,
her 'cause she is.
Siri,
right.
and what's the other one?
Alexa.
Alexa. You know, you get
No, shut down, Alexa. Stop.
I'm sorry. But just mentioning those names, like, you know, you pretty much got access to all kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's amazing, man.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing. Even just the whole point is just saying, like, even with the postal. Think about it, dog. Like, you really, right now, shit, what the hell you need the post office for?
Right.
Because pretty much most of the letters you just email or text, packages, UPS, FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
They want most people like these bills stuff. They want people to go paperless so they don't have to worry about mailing you no bill.
Man,
it come right
shit.
to you. It come right to you. I mean, most of the stuff that they say, most of the stuff that comes through the mail now is advertising and junk mail.
Mm-hmm.
People rarely write or send letters anymore. If you get a letter in the mail, somebody actually wrote it, you feel special. Think about that. Think about that. Like
that ain't in the penitentiary.
right. You think about it. Somebody actually took time to sit down and write you a letter, not send you a text.
That shit ain't happening.
But if they did it, think about the difference in time. Back in the day, you had to do that.
They locked down.
You ain't feel special then, but now somebody sat down and wrote you a letter, took the time to go to the post office and mail it to you. You feel special. True players know how to do it.
I'm about to store that lockdown, military, in boot camp, lockdown and everything. But you know, to that point, you have to be that above and beyond reason to get it done. But
Line Love says that. So we're saying that teachers' jobs will be a thing of the past. I think so.
I think it depends. I think there are some things that you probably don't. Repetitive, maybe some 101 basic stuff like that. But going back to the point of where you need some kind of emotional intelligence, you probably need teachers or something like that, because again, some things got to be responsive to certain, with that. But I do think to a degree, some things will be going away. But like I said, the base root, thinkers and fixers, people that are creators, innovators and stuff, designers and stuff like that, it's always going to be a place for you. But anytime I think that, again, I'm an accountant. But if a person got certain issues, they can interlock with bank accounts, and they got pretty much now to where all these different kind of accounts and stuff can lock in together, and they can get that infusion. The initial integration probably need a human, but after that, shit, it's rolling.
Right.
It's rolling. What you know what I'm saying? You look at it now, just from just right now, you could lock in all the different accounts from an accounting standpoint, and of course some of the stuff may be wrong, and most of the time when people try to do their own QuickBooks, they're doing the shit wrong. Right. But at the end of the day, they may have some kind of computer that can make it where it's not wrong. And then you can take that shit, integrate into a TurboTax or H&R Block, and now, so you talking about the whole financial service industry, gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. Yeah. It's possible. You need to find out certain legal things and all that kind of stuff where you had your paralegal look it up right then and there.
Right then and there, gone.
Right then and there. You know what I'm saying?
Typed out, printed, email to the client. They electronically sign it, send it back to you.
Yeah. It's you just gotta just get that in your mind. But again, I don't think a lot of it is rooted into taking. I think a lot of it is just making things better, faster, more responsive and everything like that. I think the negative impact going to come is how much you let it hinder you, with doing it. Again, some things are going to change. But again, that's the world we live in.
That is the world. I think people don't. I mean, even when we talk about, artificial foods and stuff like that, eventually it's going to be a thing, because as the populations get bigger, there's not enough food to sustain everybody. So eventually they're going to have to start making alternatives. And they already doing it. They already testing on us with Beyond Beef and all that stuff. There's been a study done to say there's actually beef in Beyond Beef. There's actually meat in there. So I'm just saying, though, these things, allegedly theirs, but it's been a study, but allegedly, I'm going to say that's why I'll get sued. But look, these things are things that they test on us all the time. We're just not aware of it because they give it to us as convenience or healthy or whatever the case may be. But it's tested on us all the time, and we just sit back and let it be tested on us. We take these pictures and alter those pictures and alter our voices, and the whole time they trying to figure out how to get rid of a job.
Yeah, but to that point, like I say again, from the opportunities that was available for our grandparents and to what's going on now, it's just really a shift and pivot how certain things are done. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the gist of that. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily know if it's something that people need to feel. Of course, it's gonna take jobs, but also gonna create different opportunities. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of if people gonna be able to do that. What was that? The Federal Reserve Secretary Jerome Powell, he had to meet with Congress. Was it yesterday or Tuesday? But they were just talking about. He brought up that there's still a shortage of employees nationwide.
Right.
So you got a ton of folks still just don't want to damn work.
Right.
You got still, I don't know what y'all at, but still got wait times and restaurants and stuff like that because they can't find people to work. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't know what the hell going on because there's a various amount of opinions. People may say I'm doing this and doing that, however that's going. But the flip side of it is one thing you don't want to is another thing if you can't. Mm-hmm. So that's the damn big ass difference.
Right.
See, when you don't want to, you still have an option.
Right.
When that option is gone, that's when I think a lot of people really going to be put in a funky spot. And that's when you definitely going to be back in a situation where you really don't want to damn be. Mm-hmm. You know, and those are where people lose a lot of leverage. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been peaks and valleys and stuff, but I think when the opportunities decrease, that's when you probably see things level off, with certain things because the job, just say if you pulling orders and they giving these bonuses $50,000, $60,000, once that job is gone, now you got to take what can be given, however that may be, and that we're doing it. Or I got 5 people here working, make $50,000. I just get one person, pay them $70 to watch over the machines.
Yeah, I don't think people realize just because we're not willing to work at that wage, corporations is not going to stop making money because you don't want to work. They're going to figure out a way to get around that.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah.
Think about Elon. Elon is right now has a test place where you can go in there and type in what kind of tester you want. It builds it right there for you in a few minutes. I think it's in China. I think it's in China. You go there and you type in the kind of tester you want, and within 30, 40 minutes, you got a new tester sitting in front of you.
And that's some shit.
No people, all computers.
Ain't that something?
You think about, what is it, the car manufacturer where they say they got a vending machine for cars. Car salesman's gone now. You go in there and you pick the car you want, and it come down, Carvana, it come down to you, and it's done.
Well, that's the same thing when you see like the real estate agents and all that stuff with the Open Door and the Next and all that kind of stuff. Like, really and truly, they changing whole damn industries. Now, to that point, do you still a lot of times need that person to tell you, hey man, because now it's just plug and play. Mm-hmm. But if you're a person just want plug and play, that's cool. Mm-hmm. That's just like with a tax bill. If I feel like I can do this, put in my W-2 information, upload it, that's fine. But if you have questions and stuff like that, well, how's the market? How's the community? How this, that, and that? Or somebody tell you that only a experienced human can tell you, and everything right now. You probably want that, but if you don't have that, man, that shit's rough.
Slick say, there's no affordable housing or none of that stuff anymore. So how are these not wanting to work people making it? They stand with people that's making it.
I don't know, man.
They stand with family members. What do you mean?
I'm still kind of trying to figure that out.
Right.
What's that? What's the line? Like, what Slick talking about with the Carvana, with the vending machine?
Carvana, that's what we're talking about, the vending machine.
Yeah, man, I'm still trying to figure that out. But like I said again, it's one thing to not want to work because you don't want to. When you ain't got a damn option, that shit different.
Yeah.
That shit different, man. And you talking about a lot of, that customer service and all that kind of stuff. And you got to call. This shit is damn near like, now I got to call. I ain't got to worry about it. The lady down at Clayton County, just
the public,
attitude.
The lady who worked for the Clayton County Sheriff Department give me crap because she worked for the Sheriff Department.
Shit. I get, how are you doing that? Like you just said, Miss Pleasant.
Yeah.
Shit.
While we talking about it, cops need to be worried about their jobs. They testing these dogs. Y'all think it's great. Like, oh, they got these robot dogs, whatever. Yeah, they're just a test to get robot people. I mean.
You, if your mind can conceive the thought, anything possible.
Anything's possible.
And that's the thing about it, man. So I just think a lot of times people just need to be aware of certain things. But listen, guys, man, I'm going to cut it short because we had the conversation. I didn't get none of you guys to call in and add to the conversation. I appreciate Shan calling in and everything. But I do want, what I would impart on everybody is just be able to understand AI is here to help, boost the things you can do, help you in your life, and help, probably with your job from production and innovative standpoint with doing certain things. But don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be reactive, hoping it doesn't, certain things won't happen to you. Be forward thinking.
Well, we get distracted by mess. So most of the time, we won't be aware of it until they giving us our pink slips.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
We'll talk about mess and all that stuff, but talk about things that actually is going to impact our lives in the next 5 years. We ain't worried about that right now. We worried about Cardi B and how, she arguing with this guy, billionaire son. That's all we worried about. We ain't worried about our livelihood for the next few years. But once the livelihood is gone, then we're going to say, why ain't nobody tell us?
Yeah. Yeah, because here's the deal, man. Some way, shape, form, or fashion, everybody's going to be affected.
Right.
By, you being first affected with your livelihood, your job, or you being somewhat sideways impacted because you may be an employer, your employees can't do certain things, customers can't do certain, somehow, shape, form, or fashion, it will have some kind of impact on you. So I will tell people, like, just put a little, effort in to be a little forward thinking to find out what's out there, what's to come, and don't be so reactionary with it, okay? Again, guys, I'm Deontay Burton, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar himself. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. And I appreciate you guys with the dialogue and everything. Make sure you, again, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell to get a notification. So whatever platform, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter, make sure you go back to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, appreciate you guys tuning in, adding to the conversation. Love you. Be safe, and I'll talk with you soon.